What the buck is up, every pony? Corpulent Brony here. I've been so busy, but you know what? I decided to make this special video today. Did you know there's a new My Little Pony movie out? Like not one of those with like the weird little horse monsters jumping around, but like actual ponies with like hoofs and everything? Oh man. Anyway, I am so excited about this movie. I've seen it 4 times in the theater. I've seen it oh my god, I'm gonna see it tomorrow again, hopefully in the theater. And it's really been pretty freaking awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly suggest you go out and see it. And unless you want to be spoiled, you probably want to skip this video until after you've seen the movie. Anyway, I wanted to make a quick video about what I thought about the movie. And real quickly, I just want to say I loved it. The movie was fantastic. I mean, we got to see ponies on the big screen, songs. The animation was just super cute, and there were lots of cool moments in it. And I love the new designs. I think they're so expressive in their faces, and they did a really good job of animating each pony for their personality at almost every point in the movie. Even in the background, when you wouldn't normally notice the ponies, if you look closely, if you watch it again and again and again and again and again and again, like I have, because I've not only seen it 4 times, soon to be 5 in the theater, I've also watched that leak from that ended up online, the leaked movie. And oh my god, dude, seriously. Having said all that, having gushed, there's something in the movie that bothers me, and it's this, and you've probably noticed it as well when you were watching the movie, if you've seen it. Twilight Sparkle manipulates her friends to distract the sea ponies. She then attempts to steal something from the sea ponies, and finally, she turns her back on her companions. She yells out to them that she, quote, may have been better off without friends like them. When I watched that, no, it just didn't work. Like, in my head, it wasn't processing. Like, what the fuck happened? Is this my Twilight Sparkle? It just didn't make any sense at all. It didn't seem to follow in her character. But instead of jumping to a conclusion and saying that the writing for this part of the movie was complete shit, I wanted to sort of see if I could, figure out what happened, and maybe see if the events that occurred here were actually explained in the story. So, first of all, I'm thinking, after seeing the movie again over and over, I think maybe this was hinted at. We see a lot of instances where Twilight's not happy with what her friends are doing. When they first reach Klugetown, Pinkie gets every pony in some serious trouble with the locals by not being able to keep her mouth shut. Pinkie, Rarity, and Dashie all are very, very quick to trust Capper. And when they board the ship that they escape Klugetown on, Pinkie almost bashes her head against some rocks because she's not being careful about what she's doing. And she was only saved there by Twilight. And then Pinkie's like, oh my god, that was a wonderful escape plan. And Twilight's like, what are you talking about? And then when they're on board the ship, when they get that reprieve from being thrown overboard and they're having the meal, Rainbow Dash is about to sing, and Twilight's like, this isn't the time to be singing a song, Rainbow Dash. And finally, at the end of the song, when Dash brazenly and really without a thought to consequence performs a sonic rain boom, alerting Fizzlepop and her company to the whereabouts, all the while Twilight looks on in horror, unable to stop it. You can kind of see where this could lead up to, because almost right after that, a couple scenes later, in the hold of the pirate ship, Twilight begins to hatch an escape plan. And she even says to them, I've got this, which is sort of a callback to the song from the beginning of the movie, which is referenced again at the end of the movie. And while the other ponies are questioning her, like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on here? She just keeps mum, and she orders them around to do what appear to be apparently random things. But she's able to save them, and after her plan succeeds, she celebrates, obviously. I love that moment, by the way. It's one of really cute animation there. And then, on Mount Eris, of course, they, indirectly because of Pinkie Pie, they all get sucked down the drain to what really should have been their probable deaths. Okay, so her friends have been letting her down over and over again, or at least she seems to think that they're letting her down each time. So when Queen Novo told her, you can't be touching this pearl, it's mine, maybe Twilight's mindset was, if they're going to get what we need to defeat the Storm King, she'd have to do it once again on her own, like she did with the balloon. So instead of bringing her friends in on the plan and possibly ruining it, maybe she decided to sort of send them away to distract the other sea ponies and give her an opportunity to succeed. So maybe that was her thinking. I'm trying to get in her head at the moment and see what she was thinking when she did this. And maybe it sort of explains why she manipulated her closest friends. Although I'm really not 100% happy with this explanation. I still don't think it quite fits in with her character. But it allows me to sort of accept it a little more. But the whole stealing thing, I've just not been able to reconcile in my head. You know, when she's confronted by her theft, Twilight, her reasoning is very empty. It's just, oh, it was the only way to save Equestria. I never would have done it, but this isn't Equestria. This reason she gives doesn't make any sense to me. Does that mean that the universal, what I thought was a universal morality that you don't steal from people, does it mean that it only exists inside Equestria? Does it mean outside of Equestria? As long as you think it's expedient, or as long as it can possibly help someone else, then it's okay to be stealing from people? Especially the hippogriffs, who are not evil at all. No, nothing in this entire movie shows the hippogriffs being bad. They're merely victims, fellow victims, and they're even part pony. That they obviously have some sort of kinship with the ponies. So why would she treat them as if they were enemies? I mean, they were even welcomed into their home. It just doesn't make sense to me. I can't fathom how she would have made such a decision. On top of all this, she only attempted one time to try and sway Queen Novo to her way of thinking. Just once. I just can't reconcile Twilight's character and her attempt to steal the purr. It's a non sequitur to me. In my opinion, this thievery, though, it really pales in comparison with her words on the beach, that she may be better off without friends like hers. The only salvation in this scene is the fact that, obviously, as soon as the words leave Twilight's mouth, she's regretting them. They did a really great job in the animation showing that regret. She speaks without thinking things clearly sometimes. I mean, maybe that's not even what I want to say. She just will sometimes say things that can maybe seem kind of mean. And I'm thinking more of like early Twilight, like season 1 and 2 Twilight. It doesn't happen that much anymore. I can kind of start to make sense to me if I think about her character like that back in the day, where she'd say crap like, all the ponies in this town are freaking crazy, or she'd say stuff like, I just can't stand to be with these crazy ponies, or it just sort of fits if you think of it like that. But again, I'm not super happy with it. It just seems so sudden in that little argument that she would just jump and say something so out of her character, especially recently, like that. It just didn't feel right. And I'm still trying to come to terms with all this and try to make it fit. But I did like the rest of the movie quite a bit, actually. Obviously, or else I wouldn't have seen it like 4 times. Probably another one by the time you're watching this video. The music, top notch. Enjoyed it. I listened to that soundtrack more than 30 times, according to Google Play Music. I've just been pumping that thing constantly. The beginning, I love how it mirrored like the first 2 episodes of the series. It starts out with Twilight asking the princess for a favor. The princess says no. Twilight is then sent, she's sort of sent in different ways, but she now has to like help plan a party. She's got a checklist. She's going around to each of her friends to see what's going on. And this all happens sort of in the song in the movie. And each of her friends is, each of their responsibilities for this party, as far as planning it, are aligned almost directly with what they did in season 1. You know, Applejack's baking food and making all the food, and that, of course, was what she did in season 1. Rarity is making things look fabulous. It's what she did in season 1. You got Rainbow Dash clearing the clouds, what she did in season 1. Fluttershy getting the birds to do their singing, again, what they did in season 1. And Pinkie Pie baking... I don't know, Pinkie Pie's like planning the party. I don't know, she's baking cakes and trying to do crazy shit. Which, Pinkie Pie being crazy and random is sort of what she did in season 1, I guess. So then the bad guy shows up, right? And afterwards, Twilight sort of decides on her own that, hey, I'm going to go in the Everfree Forest, or hey, I'm going to seek out the Queen of the Hippo on my own. And in each of the instances, all of her friends, all the other 5 of the main 6 say, no, we want to go with you. We're going to help you because, we're cool like that. So I like that sort of mirroring that happened throughout the first part of the movie. You know, it reminded me a lot of the first few episodes, like I said. There were tons of sincerely funny jokes, like a lot of stuff I laughed at, like heartily, and including a couple of hidden adult references, which, believe it or not, they're there. You just might have to look for them. And while the new characters weren't nearly as bad as I thought they would be, they were actually pretty decently well written and acted. Their presence didn't really feel like it was necessary. I felt like the entire story could have been told with ponies instead of all these other creatures. I mean, especially since the journey that they took didn't amount to anything tangible. Another question I had, of course, was, okay, so this entire thing happens in 3 days, because at the beginning of the movie, Fizzlepop tells the Storm King, hey, I will have shit tied down here in 3 days' time. And somehow the ponies walked from Canterlot all the way down to Klugetown, and then they made it over to Mount Eris, and then they had their little sea pony escapade. And now they're on the beach, and somehow they made it from that beach all the way back up to Canterlot. Now this entire event takes place over 3 days. Keep in mind, this is the same world where it takes like a nearly overnight train trip to make it to Appaloosa. Or a very, what appears to be, at least in the beginning seasons, a very long train trip to get to Canterlot from Ponyville. It doesn't make sense in my head that it would take so long. But now for this movie, all of a sudden, on hoof, they can make it that far so quickly. And then another thing that really I question is, what is this OP material that the Storm King has that can penetrate the most powerful of magic shields, that can reflect magic, and can prevent magic from being used by Twilight to escape from that cage? What kind of material is this? And I mean, it basically ruins, it's basically the foil to magic that we've never seen yet. It really kind of breaks a lot of the stories that we've had, and it's like, well, what's going to happen now that this material is out there in the open? Another question a lot of people have asked that I think is a viable and correct question to ask is, where are the dragons and the changelings if they're now allies of the ponies? Why aren't they present? I think one of the show writers, I think Big Jim maybe, the movie, he sees it taking place between season 7 and 8, so the relationships they have with the dragons and the changelings are well established at this point. Shouldn't they be there helping out their friends and allies? At least a couple of them? Like, maybe not all the dragons, but at least like Ember and a few of them? Apparently they're not even present. And what about Starlight Glimmer, you know, and even Trixie, who we do see briefly at the beginning of the show, the movie? We never see them again in captivity. You know, where the hell are they? Their journey could have been somewhere to, like, I don't know, find some other pony friends, and the pony friends could have come out and helped them defeat the Storm King and his armies. It would have made just as much sense. Another issue I had was Twilight and her use, or rather, a non-use of magic in this show, in this movie. She's often in the show shown using her magic constantly. She teleports tons of times in the show. She didn't teleport a single time in the movie, not once. Even in instances where it could have helped her. Now, I understand, you know, like when the ball's coming at her, that's going to turn her into stone. I understand that there are times when you freeze, and it did look like in the movie she froze at that moment when she saw the ball coming towards her. But that would have been a perfect time to have teleported. There were a lot of other times that she could easily have teleported, and it never happened? What? I don't get it. And what about her offensive magic? She uses offensive magic a total of 1 time, and all of her beginning fight with the minions and shit, she shoots one little like horn laser beam once, and of course it just rebounds and hits the ground and they fall, whatever. Why was she never trying any other like offensive magic? It made no sense to me. Okay, and then another thing occurred to me. When Pinkie Pie is falling with the rope, she never used her magic to stop her. Instead, she flew down there manually to catch her. What about when Rainbow Dash was going up to do the Sonic Rain Boom? Twilight, you could have stopped her with your magic there. You weren't completely defenseless. You could have prevented the Rain Boom from happening. I mean, need I go on? This would not have been out of character. It would have ruined the plot of the movie as they were writing it, but as written, it seems really wrong. Twilight never uses her magic in the movie for things other than making a flashlight or like writing on a board or shit like, you know, small shit like that. She never uses it offensively. She never uses it to teleport. She only grabs her friends with it in the balloon scene when she's putting the balloon together. Outside of that, I never see her use her magic in any real way. And not only is she the Princess of Friendship, but let us not forget, She was, or is, I don't know, the embodiment of the element of magic. Okay? That means she's really fucking good at magic. But she doesn't use it. Not only that, but she always is using magic, but not now. Yeah, I have some issues. None of them make the movie suck. I still love the movie. I still love watching it over and over again. Awesome stuff, man. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I've also seen the leaked season 7 finale, and I won't go into detail on it because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone yet. But I will say I have a lot that I want to say about it. I'm not super happy, and probably do a video on that later, maybe. So, hey, maybe this won't be the last video for me for 6 months or however long it's been since I last did a public video on this channel. It's just so hard to like get into the like mood to make videos when I don't know, the show's just been mediocre. I mean, there have been some pretty good episodes in season 7. I got to admit, it's a lot better than season 6 was. But I don't know, I just don't like making videos as much as I used to. It's not as fun. I'd rather do what I'm doing now, like making websites and crap like that. It's more entertaining to me. I feel kind of bad though because I have like subscribers. Not that many, but I mean a few of you guys I know are like my content for some reason, and I wanna do stuff, you know, to make you guys happy. But it's just, man, it takes a lot of work to put a video together. Even this one that I'm gonna try and half-ass, so I actually get it done. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't get it done. But if I tried to do like what I'd like to do, but even this video is still going to take probably 3 or 4 hours to put together. And if I were going to do it right, like really try hard on this video, it probably would take me multiple days to do. And not just short days, but like 4 or 5 hours each day to get this video where I want it to be. I can't really, it's just not as much fun anymore. I'm sorry, guys. But I don't mind doing quickies like this once in a while, especially when I got something to say. So hopefully you guys, you know, you probably don't agree with me, but maybe you can understand some of my viewpoints. And, you know, maybe I'm wrong about everything. Who knows? I may come to actually appreciate what they did in the movie. Hey, I'm not letting anything could happen. But the movie itself was beautiful. I'm looking forward to watching it again tomorrow. I hope I get to see it because it is just wonderful to have ponies on the big screen. I feel like I really need to see it now because who knows, we might not ever get this opportunity again. You know, it might not be in theaters that long. It's not been doing super well. It's not been sucking. But it hasn't been like a box office hit or anything yet. It probably won't be, but now it's like the end of the video and I don't really know how to end it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me for all this time. If you're still subscribed, you guys are awesome. If you're not subscribed, hey, if you want to subscribe to me, feel free. At least I won't be filling up your subscription notifications, huh? You've never seen anything from me. Hey, you know, why not? It doesn't really help me out. I don't really get anything for you subscribing, so I guess whatever. I don't really, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of even like, okay, this is crazy, but I'm like, maybe I should go through the video, and on top of the gameplay I'm planning on putting in, maybe I should go in and like upload, like put in pictures from the movie, and just to help describe my points. I'd love to use video from the movie, but I'm pretty sure Hasbro will probably get that shit taken down almost immediately. I don't really want the video to be taken down, so I don't know. Even stills, I kind of had the risk of them at least claiming it, so maybe I won't use stills even. I don't know. Not that it really matters if they claim it. It just means that they're going to show ads to you guys, and that's not cool. Although if you use ad block, you'll never see them. I won't tell. You won't tell. Well, I use ad block. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, God. Man, I'm surprised my sound recorder had enough juice to get me through this. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm literally running this thing on fumes. 24 minutes almost. I'm sure I'm going to edit, like, a lot of that out. At least that part in the middle, and probably this ending part, and the part at the beginning. Oh, good, my AC turned off, so instead of having to redo the sound, I should probably have just ended it already, but I guess I'll just end it again, so. Thanks again for listening. Yeah. Y'all, stay cool, and yeah. See you later, every pony. There, maybe that's an ending. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Okay. That's it. Stop.